on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl MaHogany. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on that post notification bell. Make sure you guys are also following me across all of my social media platforms. I'll put them on the screen. Make sure you locked in with your girl. You can't say you are a true supporter if you aren't locked in with me across all of my platforms. I wanted to do this video for my loyal supporters because you guys have been there for me throughout this whole process, and I told you guys that in this new stage of my life that I would be open and honest and transparent as we ride out this journey together. I won't be making any other videos after this one, so it won't be any back and forth regardless of what videos are made or not made following this video, because I honestly want to get back to my regular content, the content that I enjoy, showing my journey, my healing journey, my kids, and just everything that we have going on. And also my attorney advised me not to make any more videos after this one, but I felt like y'all mean so much to me, and I did want to at least come on here and speak to this for you guys. As I share with you guys over the last couple months, I am in the process of going through a divorce. I'll go ahead and put the case number, the judge, and all of that information on the screen so you guys can see it, as well as the public document that verifies it online. I also go another step in putting the link in the description box that you guys can click and type in the case number so that you guys can find it yourself, and it's easy. My divorce is very much real and it's very much active. I'll also go ahead and put on the screen my divorce attorney's information so that you guys can contact her if you feel the need to do so, and she'll even be able to explain that even before the divorce was filed, that the divorce was very much in the process and in the works, because when it comes to a divorce with kids, it's not that easy, and there's so many things that have to go into play before even the papers are filed. So I did want to just put all this information on the screen so you guys are able to know, and I'm able to be open and transparent about the divorce being real. It's not fake, it's not a ploy, it's not a scheme for likes and views, but it's honestly a painful process that I'm going through that my kids and I did not ask for, and I've been left to pick up the pieces and put my family and my household and all of that together by myself. And it's not easy. It's hard. It's hard navigating the kids on my own and navigating the household expenses and how to even navigate my household by myself. And so I'm truly doing the best that I can, and I'm showing up the best way that I can. My family being broken is not something that I would play about because it's hurtful and it's real. And I don't know if there's any single parents that may be watching this video, and it's a journey. Although I've been a parent, navigating this by myself with my kids in the household, it's a whirlwind of emotions, and my everyday is up and down. And then even when it comes to the joint business that we share, the Jacksons of Atlanta Enterprises, that's something that's been on my plate to work through and resolve and piece together on my own as well, that I didn't ask for. And even when it comes to that, I'm navigating it literally the best way that I know how, along with me having my own brand and business. And so it's a journey. It's a journey, and it's not easy. And even when it comes to my own brand and my own business, that's a separate thing. I wanted to be clear with you guys and let you know that that's a totally different entity from the Jacksons of Atlanta Enterprises. The Jacksons of Atlanta Enterprises is a joint enterprise that my kids, father, and I share, but I have my own brand outside of that as well. So a lot of the things that you guys see that I do is for my own brand. It's not necessarily from joint ventures, and by joint I mean this business, the Jacksons of Atlanta Enterprises. And then my kid's father also has his own business and things that he does, which I can't be held liable for and I cannot speak to. I'm not going to mention the name of the person who made the video with these allegations, but I will go ahead and put their picture on the screen. I'm not going to share their name just because I don't feel that it's necessary, although they shared, my name and my kids' names and, my children's diagnosis and things like that. I'm not going to share their name in this video or their company or anything of that nature. But as I said, I'll put the image on the screen so you guys can at least know the video that I am referring to. And I want to be very clear and transparent there is a balance that is owed to this individual that hasn't been satisfied by the judgment date because of the divorce that's going on. And because of this individual is making videos to retaliate because of that. But I've talked to the individual via email, and a payment plan has been set up with them that they agreed to make sure that they are being taken care of, because that's the integrity that I have. And I'll get more into just conversations I had with that individual before, letting them know up front where everything stood. And honestly, if I had the funds from the Jacksons of Atlanta Enterprise to give to them sooner, I would. But I shared this with them that literally, I'm not going to get much into it, but funds was literally taken without my permission. And so if I could do things faster and sooner, I would, from the Jacksons of Atlanta Enterprise business. So let's just get into a few things when it comes to the video that was made. When the person made the video, this individual, this past employee, they started off by saying that they had been our videographer for a while. This was done to build credibility with you guys before they shared all the things that they shared. But I want to be very clear and transparent that this person did not work for our business for more than a month and a half. I'll go ahead and put their contract on the screen to show that they signed their agreement with us on November the 2nd, and their last day of work with us was December the 15th, which I'll also show proof of that on the screen. They ended up putting their resignation letter in on the 17th. They stopped working on the 15th, and the 16th is the day that they came and they collected their equipment and pretty much had different conversations and things with Justin and I individually. But their last day of work that they actually worked for the company and completed any videography work was December the 15th. So this individual did not even work for us for a while. But they also made claims that my kid's father and I, them, the videographer, and the nanny were the only employees that worked for our company. And that's simply not true. We have individuals that run our Facebook page that are paid to edit our videos and posts. We also have an attorney that we've paid, especially during that time, that I'll go ahead and put these things and these agreements on the screen, invoices that show that attorney retainer was paid during that time, as well as the relationships that were running our Facebook page. And there's so many more people that work with our company. So this whole narrative that he said about we fake knowing that we know that we're the only people that work in the company is not true. There's multiple people that work within the Jackson of Atlanta Enterprises. It's not just me, my kid's father, and him at the time, and the nanny. That's not true. It is more people. We're not just the only two employees outside of those two individuals, him and the nanny. There was also a claim that was made that we basically have a business office that isn't real. And when you look us up, you see this fancy place, but we don't use it and we just work from our house. I'll go ahead and put on the screen receipts that show that that business address, 1 Glen Lake Parkway, Suite 650, is our business and where we conduct business at. We pick up mail there. We have meetings there. Now, let's be honest, given the nature of our job as far as creating content, yes, we do create a lot of content at our home and outside of that office space. So yes, that is true, but the business office is not fake. We pay for that monthly, and that is 100% real. So let's just get into the whole work hours. I know that there was an allegation made that we wanted this individual to work Monday through Sunday, and they were only supposed to work Monday through Friday, not the weekends, and no overtime and things like that. I'll go ahead and put their contract on the screen. Their contract, if you guys aren't familiar, I know many of you probably are familiar with DocuSign. They signed their contract through DocuSign, and DocuSign is pretty much a way that you can sign agreements and different things like that electronically. A lot of businesses use it, even in real estate. It's a bunch of companies that use DocuSign. And so this is the agreement that I will be referencing and putting on the screen various times throughout this video. But in his agreement, it literally states that he will work Monday through Friday, 8-hour shifts, but also to be available on the weekends as needed and outside of his work hours as needed. It's literally listed on the agreement. There wasn't a random, you were only supposed to work Monday through Friday and working on the weekend was just shock and you didn't know anything. He literally knew up front when signing the agreement what the job would require. This was no surprise or no manipulation or no forcing of doing additional work hours that he knew nothing about. He's knew up front. He wasn't deceived. It's right there in the contract. He 100% agreed to the work that was in that contract. Additionally, there was this thing about he was supposed to get off at 5 p.m. that was stated. And in the contract, it says work 8-hour shifts. But it did not say a specific end time. Look at the agreement. So sometimes he did come in at 9. Sometimes he did come in at 10, 11. The call times did vary, but he was 100% aware of this. This was no surprise. There was even a mention that he worked 1 month straight. And this narrative was used to push that he was overworked and exhausted and different things of that nature. And even when it came to that, he didn't even work for us a full month and a half. And I'm going to put on the screen instances where he had off that will quickly show you that how did you even work every day for a month straight if you had these off days in between and you only worked a month and a half. That's not even true. And so when you look on the screen, you'll see that there was gaps in communication at certain points. That's when he went home for the weekend and then he came back on Monday. There was also times when he left on Friday and then he came back on Sunday, which shows that there was a break in between. So there was breaks. He had weekends off. But I'll just put a few examples on the screen. I'm not going to populate the screen with just all these occasions, but I will put a few on there so you guys can see that that's not true. Also, when he said the remarks about he was only supposed to work 40 hours a week, that's not in the contract. It literally said Monday through Friday and weekends as needed. And outside of the weekday work hours as needed as well. So there was no surprise. There was no, I had no idea that I would need to come in on the weekend when you literally assigned a contract that said that this would be required at times. And also one part that was very, very interesting is he said in his video, when it came to his contract, the judge said that his contract was void because it wasn't signed with a real person. That's what he said. I'm going to go ahead and put his contract on the screen. MaHogany Jackson signed the contract. His contract wasn't signed with anybody else. It was him and I. And I'm a real person. So he literally said the judge said that the contract was void. And I'm not even going to get into too much into that because honestly, if the judge said the contract was void, how were you even able to get a judgment? There had to be validity of the contract. And again, he said the contract was signed by a fake person. I signed the contract. Y'all see my signature. M.J. That's me, MaHogany Jackson. It literally has my signature on it. He also said that he was paid in an untraceable way, which I thought was very interesting because he received direct deposit into his bank account from a traceable source, the business bank account, the Jacksons of Atlanta, which I'll go ahead and put several payouts that he received on the screen. It wasn't this weird offshore account or weird account with random numbers and things. He was paid direct deposit. Like a lot of people in America are paid. But I'll put that on the screen for you guys to see. So I'm not quite sure what that even, that was very interesting. There was several points in the video where he would say our company in like quotations as if the company wasn't real. But I'll go ahead and put on the screen our articles of incorporation showing that the Jackson of Atlanta Enterprises is not a hobby. It's a real business, legal business. I'll even go an additional step and put on the Georgia Secretary of State where you guys will literally see that it's an active business. It's not a fake company. It's a real company. 100% real. It's literally legal inactive. I wanted to also talk briefly about when it came to my neighbor and the whole chicken and waffles thing. I'm not going to talk much about that because my neighbor does have a catering business and I just don't want him involved in all of that because they're really, really great, sweet people. But it was said that my kid's father and I knew in advance about being invited to the neighbor's house, but we just told them last minute. No, that's not true. Our neighbor literally sent us a text, which I'm going to put on the screen, an impromptu text, and was like, hey, I want you guys to come over here and taste something. Taste these chicken and waffles. And we went. And so if you also look at the time, you'll see that when we was over there, it was early. So this individual was 100% able to still take their break. And they did. They went to Chick-fil-A. We drove them there right after the short filming. And one part that I really did not like was this whole drinking and driving thing. That bothered me for many reasons. One, while we was there, we only had one mimosa. And I didn't even finish that one mimosa while I was there. And I didn't take it with me either. And the thing is, I literally had an uncle that passed away in a crash. That's not funny to be talking about drinking and driving and that's a serious, serious thing. So no one was drinking and driving and this whole narrative that was created to push this image. No, that's not what happened. And I'm sure many of you guys have had a mimosa at brunch or out and drove. It was a mimosa. It was not heavily alcoholic. And we would never put somebody's safety in danger like that. Again, I don't take the drinking and driving matter lightly. That's not a joke. That's not a joke. So to even push that narrative is very, very wrong and not fair. So let's get into the nanny. So the nanny, Hallie, y'all, I absolutely love Hallie. She is the best nanny, okay? And my kids love her. They adore her. And she works with my kids really well. And there was this narrative and stuff said about the nanny being treated so badly. Y'all, me and the nanny have a great relationship. Like, a good relationship. Because honestly, she was here, especially when the whole divorce was beginning and everything. And so she knows what I was going through. And she was here, you know. And I'll even play a recording of a conversation that we had recently after all of this. I literally just had the conversation with her the other day. And she's like, she's definitely open and would love to work with me again. There's no bad blood with the nanny and I. We have a good relationship. I love her. So I'm going to let you guys hear that recording. I'm sure you have another job or something now, but...
No, not yet.
Not yet?
Yeah, I've been trying to find somewhere, but I also want to go to school, so I don't know.
Like, if you still don't have a job and you do want to still work with my kids, even if it's just like certain days or something, you know, I would love to work with you again and everything.
Yeah, I would totally do that too. That would be very nice.
As I said, the nanny Hallie, literally knew about the divorce and just all the things that were going on way before the world did. And, you know, because I'm not going to share about her, you know, life, but because of some things she's experienced, she was really able to be there for me. And that's why we have the relationship that we have. And even when it comes to her, we have an agreement on how her balance is getting paid. So the nanny, she's doing fine. I love the nanny. And we've been in conversation. I did notice that there were comments in the video, and like, you know, comments under his video where you guys were asking him things and he was speaking to things that literally happened before he had even came. And, you know, I hate that you guys were made to believe that he was a truthful and credible source for information and that he had been with us for all this time and knew all of this, but he's not able to speak to things that happened before he even came. He cannot speak to those things, especially to sensitive things and topics and situations that has happened in our life. He can't speak to that stuff. And I'm sad that y'all were even deceived to even believe that. He can literally not speak to experiences that happened before he arrived. And I hate that y'all were deceived to believe that he could and that he even gave false answers to some of the questions you guys were asking. So as I wrap up, I'm not going to make this video too long, but I didn't want to speak to the whole hard drive situation and the police coming over and that whole lie that was shared, the half truth of it. Because yes, the police did come. But the way all that went down was not true. I'll go ahead and put on the screen the text. But when he texted us, he did not text us saying that he wanted to come collect his hard drive. And if we didn't answer him, he was going to send the police to get his hard drive. No, that's not what's said. The text is on the screen. What he was saying, that he wanted us to respond back to him about the situation. And if we didn't respond back to him, he was going to do all of these things. And when we talked to our attorney, they said for us not to respond. And so we didn't respond to it. But he didn't send the police over because he had told us, if you don't respond back to me, I'm going to send the police to help me get my drive. No, that's not what he did. That's what he said. And because of that, we didn't respond because our attorney told us not to. So when it comes to the court case, yes, I did show up alone because I am alone. As I shared, when it comes to the Jacksons of Atlanta Enterprises, which was our joint business, I've been left to resolve these matters and put the pieces together on my own. The divorce has never been fake. It's been real literally all along. And I even shared that with him. After the court case, I told him that the divorce was real. I told him that a payment plan was going to be needed to be able to satisfy what was owed to him. I told him that. I was upfront about that. And he even said out his mouth, he said, I figured when you showed up alone that the divorce was real. And I'm sorry that you are going through that because divorces are tough. And then he literally turned around and made a video saying my divorce was fake. I explained everything to him after the court hearing. And I even told the judge during that time that the divorce was real, which I could say because it was real. Again, here's my divorce attorney's information. This isn't a fraud, a lie, or any of that. And I even let him know the status of what was going on and why he couldn't be paid out fast. That literally funds was taken without my joint permission, but I was going to have integrity and do the best I could to see that he got paid. I told him that very, very day. I told him that. It's literally never been a matter of me trying to fake or run or hide from what is owed to him. No, I was transparent with him that day about everything. Everything. And I told him because of the integrity that I have, I'm going to see that he gets taken care of. And I still stand on that, which is why a payment plan has already been presented to him that he did accept. But if I could be really real, y'all, the part that really hurt me was bringing my kids into the mix. Bringing them in the mix on a situation that was literally a business matter. A business matter that was literally between him and the Jacksons of Atlanta Enterprises. It had nothing to do with my children. And honestly, bringing them into the mix really speaks to the type of person that he is, because that's sickening. My kids didn't have nothing to do with the business responsibilities and transactions that were owed and due to you. And he literally used my kids as a ploy to push a narrative. And it's not true and it's not fair. And I'm going to share a conversation that me and my nanny and the nanny Hallie, had just a few days ago that really showed what she experienced while she was in the house and how my kids are taken care of. Because I believe that's important. But I'm going to also speak to it myself. As you guys saw in his video, he really contradicted himself. Because he said that the nanny would be there at the house, but the kids would literally come down just for filming. And then after they would film, they would go back upstairs and run around and do whatever while the nanny was there. So what was the nanny doing? That's not true. Literally, the kids would get dressed, the nanny would get them ready, and we would film. We would have a great time. And then after, the kids would go back to the nanny. They would be downstairs running, playing, doing trucks, singing, cooking, having a ball with the nanny. After they filmed, they didn't go upstairs and run around in their room. They were literally with the nanny that was literally there. They had support and care. So that's not even true. They weren't cramped up in their rooms. Also, I know a lot of you guys may not understand how the job of being a content creator works. So just like you guys may work 9 to 5s, it's the same thing. So although I may be up in my office, I still have work hours. And during my work hours, I may film a video. I may do a photo shoot. It's different things that take place, but I'm still at work. So it's no difference. So a lot of people I know, for me, they're like, sometimes, you have the most free time during the day as a parent, a mom. I'm at work just like y'all. Although my work looks different, I'm also an author and I have a new release coming up. So yes, I'm doing a photo shoot. Yes, I'm in meetings. Yes, I'm traveling and doing things around Atlanta, taking care of business. I'm at work. Yes, mine may look different, but I'm working to provide for my household just the same way you guys are. It's not a matter of me neglecting my kids and riding around and having a ball. I'm working. But while I'm at work, my kids have support and they have someone that's caring for them so that they are also having a great day throughout the day. It's no difference. When y'all see me, every time I'm filming, I'm making a living for my family. It's part of my business. It's part of what I do. And accompanied with other things like my book and, different things like that. But this filming is work. And I know that looks different for you guys. But that's really what it is. Also, the part about literally having kids for fame and money, I'm not going to talk much about that because I literally have shared videos about that on my channel before. And so it's really no need to really dive too much in that. But I literally had 4 kids before the Jacksons of Atlanta even got popping or even got well known. And I can't speak to what other people do, but I know me, I don't have kids for videos and content. Absolutely not. And I never have had that mindset. And, the nanny's going to talk a little bit about this. You'll see in our conversation. But the whole not remember my kids' names, don't get me wrong. I got a lot of M's. But Justin, Marcel, Mateo, Milo, Miles, and Maverick. Justin, Marcel, Mateo, Milo, Miles, and Maverick. Justin, Marcel, Mateo, Milo, Miles, and Maverick. Them my babies that I pushed out of me. I know my babies. I know their names. It's a lot of M's. Don't get me twisted. And it could be a tongue twister at times, but I know my babies and I love my babies. And they mean the world to me. Period. So the whole thing about my son being in the basket, that clip that he had put in his video, that was literally an accident. But the video was literally cut to further push that narrative. It didn't show me running and consoling my son. It didn't show how much fun they had that day, even with the basket experience. They had a ball. And I'm going to put on the screen so you guys can see how much fun my kids really did have that day. It was an amazing day. And they really had a great time. And what happened in that moment was literally a not intentional accident. It was literally an accident. That's what it was. Nothing more and nothing less. But I want y'all to see my babies having a ball.
Exactly. You didn't hit the cup. Hit my head. See why I turned around? Your aim sucks.
You see how my kids were smiling? They were having a ball. And my kids are loved and they mean so much to me. Really. They're my babies that I carry. And, I know some people may not be able to understand that and the nature of that experience, but they're my babies. And I'm going to stand on business about them. Period. I love my boys and they literally mean the world to me. But I'm going to let the nanny speak to that and speak to how parenting was, the whole experience, so you guys can hear it from her as well, from the conversation I had the other day. So I'm going to let you guys hear that recording. He, has just that. But, and that's why I was saying, I really wish that even if that guy was to have made the video about the pay or whatever, that he would have just really told the truth and separated the two, because sitting there and making it seem like I'm not a good mom. I don't remember my kid's name. I don't care about them. I neglect them. Like, none of that stuff is true.
Yeah, no, most parents have to go to work during the day too. It's just y'all were at home.
And it's like, when you were there, you didn't see me neglect my kids. You didn't see me abuse my kids. I mean,
no.
So it's like, I don't, for him to say those things, it was just like, it hurt. And people believed it just because they knew that he was around recording. But just because someone was around doesn't make it true,
Yeah, no, that's going too far. You should have just kept it to that situation.
Right. See? That's what I'm saying. And I hate that I even had to do this video. But one thing too that was said in the video was, again, to further push a narrative and make me look a certain type of way, was literally that there wasn't a real Steve Madden shoot. And that I bought boots from Steve Madden and faked the whole Steve Madden experience. That is not true. And I'm going to put on the screen the conversation that I had with the representative from Steve Madden, showing that they sent me the boots. I didn't go buy boots for a photo shoot to fake that I work with Steve Madden. I did work with them. And that was so hurtful because that was literally my first time working with a dream brand of mine. Because a lot of times these brands, although they say that they're inclusive, they really want women to have a certain body type that society likes. And I'm a mama and I've had these pregnancies and my body don't look necessarily like what society puts out as the body for women. You know what I'm saying? And I really love that I was able to work with Steve Madden. That shoot meant a lot to me. I'll put a picture on the screen. It meant a lot to me. But then to have it discredited and said that I literally bought the boots and faked the shoot and then sent the boots back to make me look a certain way, when there's screenshots literally showing that I worked with the company. They sent those boots to me. That wasn't fake. That was 100% a real campaign and experience. Why lie? Why lie on me in that way? It's not nice and it's not fair. And lastly, I'm going to say this. I'm going to put the contract on the screen again. But in the contract, it literally says that he was an at-will employee and he could terminate his contract at any time. Therefore, if there was really all of these injustice going on, why not just terminate the contract and get another job? You weren't even working with us for that long. It wasn't even a month and a half. I truly believe that if you felt something was wrong and all of these things were done, you would have left. At least I know I would have. But hey, that's me. And at the end of the day, I know people are going to believe what they want to believe. And I can't chase every video that may or may not be created after this one. But the only thing I can do is give you guys this video, give you guys the truth. And this is the only video that I'm going to make. Because honestly, I appreciate you guys' support during this time. I appreciate how you guys have loved me, supported me on YouTube, Patreon, Instagram, all of my platforms. And y'all support has meant so much to me. It's literally been days where I felt like I couldn't go another day. But y'all and God, I feel the support. I feel the prayers. And your prayers aren't in vain. This is a very real situation. This isn't false. So I appreciate y'all's love. And for that reason, I wanted to make this video to y'all. I felt like I owed it to you guys for all just the loyalty that you've given me. So as I said, there won't be another video despite what videos I made or what other persons or anything. If that may or may not even happen, I don't even know. But the thing is, I just want you guys to know where I stand and where I am. And I'm currently on a healing journey for myself and for my children. And that's what I want to focus on. I want to get back to the regular content so you guys can know how we are navigating this process, myself and the kiddos, what I have upcoming, and just so that you guys can see my story and give yourself hope. Because I know it's so many of you guys that have been watching my story and you're like, man, I'm going through that too. Or they're like, I'm finding strength through your story. I'm not going through that, but I'm going through this, and you're encouraging me. Your prayers are encouraging me. All of that stuff has been real, y'all. This is real life. My kids and I didn't ask to be in this situation. It's tough, but we are navigating it literally the best way that we can. I'm doing the best that I can. I truly am. And I truly appreciate y'all's support during this time. I don't take it for granted. And as I've shared before, there's moments in my marriage that I'm proud of, and there's moments that I'm not so proud of. But the false narratives and things like that being presented, especially when it comes to my children, that I don't agree with. So I wanted to do this video. And for the last time, my divorce is not a prank, scam, none of that. It's real. I'm going to put it on the screen again so you guys can know. And like I said, the link is in the description box so that you can literally click the link and type in all the information that you see and be able to locate the case. Because I know some people said it's not active. That's not true. It's active. And I know people said it's still searching. No, maybe you're on the wrong website. But I want to go another step just to show how real and transparent I am willing to be, although I don't have to necessarily, as far as the documents of my court case. But I want you guys to find it. I want you guys to see so that you know the love and support you've given me is not in vain. This is real life. And it's tough. And it's hard. And it's not easy. And it's honestly nothing to even joke about when it comes to what I'm going through right now. And like I said, for the last time, I am doing everything in my power to resolve any balances or people that are owed, any business matters and things of that nature that come from the joint business, the Jacksons of Atlanta Enterprises. I'm doing it on my own, but I'm trying to move as fast as I can, and I'm trying to do the very best that I can. But I am committed to seeing it through, that people get taken care of. Just the integrity that I have, I can only speak to myself and me, for me. But I'm going to make sure that everything is taken care of and all of these people are taken care of. But like I said, I'm moving as fast as I can given the circumstances that I've been put in that I didn't ask for. And there's a scripture in the Bible. I'm actually going to read you guys it because I have like these note cards that I've been using throughout my journey just to encourage me of different things, you know, during my healing process. But it's Romans 12:19 NIV. Don't take revenge, my dear friends, but leave room for God's wrath. Leave room for God's wrath. For it is written, it is mine to avenge. I will repay, says the Lord. And let me be very clear, because I know people take things out of context. I'm not wishing anything at all bad on anyone. But what I take from that scripture is when people do you wrong and say these false narratives and all of that stuff, and say things and try to put you down and whatever, honestly, that you even may be going through. The Bible says, leave room for God's wrath. And sometimes I feel like in life, we literally try to do it ourselves. So it's like, leave room for God. But what we try to do is we try to say something. We try to do stuff. But in this era of my life, this new era, I'm leaving room. I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to make multiple videos. I'm going to leave room. Because in time, you guys will be able to see what's real and what's not true. And I'm going to leave it at that. So, as I said, I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to argue. I'm literally going to leave room. And as I said, I felt like I owed this to you guys, this video. So here it is. I love y'all so much, and I don't take you guys' support for granted at all. And y'all, this has been one heck of a journey, but one thing about it, I appreciate y'all being down for the ride. I love you guys so, so much. Thank you for being here for me and my kiddos. Love you. Bye. Mwah.